We killed the internet. To understand the phenomenon of the death of the internet, you have to understand how it all began. Which, my bad guys. The internet was officially created in 1983, but today we are talking specifically about the YouTube part of the internet and social media. YouTube was created in 2005 and then gained traction in 2006. It originally started as a dating site and then over time developed into just videos. Originally on YouTube it was very uncontrolled, and the Online UK Safety Act was only implemented in 2023, which by the time I'm making this video is still only a year ago. YouTube was still on the rise, the internet was only beginning to be understood. So there was a lot less restrictions, but that also meant a lot more creative liberty. There was nothing that people were expecting from it, there was nothing that people were searching for. We just learnt. And oftentimes the video that would gain tractions were the ones that were just fun, something you'd learn, something you'd understand. A lot of the times you'd see the most popular video on YouTube was music videos, and a lot of the times it would just be the people who were gaining most traction on YouTube were people who were just talented or funny and actually experienced life. Now what we see is the most popular YouTubers are just the same copy and paste of each other. They are doing the exact same things, doing the exact same thumbnails and the exact same topics. And you wonder, why did this all begin? Are we to blame? The death of the internet was considered to have started in 2016 to 2017 when the rise of AI content and YouTube started being stricter on its guidelines and monetization, and how it started paying people based on its content. Before YouTube was properly monetized as it is today, people were less focused on how many views something got or how many clicks it got. They were more focused on producing videos that their viewers would truly enjoy. But over time, when YouTube began paying for certain things, people had to adapt to that lifestyle and had to create different content than maybe they would have, which meant less passionate content. It is similar to a phenomenon that happened with a hospital. When they started monitoring the surgeon's progress, the surgeons started taking less risky surgeries because they didn't want their patients to die in case that would look bad on them and they'd get a lower rating. So more people would consequently die because they were being so heavily monitored and didn't want a higher death rate on their account. This similar phenomenon of constantly watching over someone till it causes more harm than good, in using the domino effect, that's what happened to YouTubers. They slowly stopped doing what they were passionate with and started focusing on what numbers actually looked like than what they were, and no one was passionate about their content anymore. Everyone was just doing what would pay them, which obviously isn't a bad thing. Everyone needs to live, everyone needs to do these things, but it became a lot harder to live off of a passion than live off of content. In 2016 and 2017, consequently, there was also an uprise in prank culture because people would get that dopamine hit where they'd feel satisfactory because, oh, look at that, it's funny. You can do the same repetitive things over and over again and it won't get old. Similarly, I think we've all fallen into a loop where we watch the videos with a satisfying slime clicking or some sort of Subway Surfers game with a random AI generated title or something. We've all fallen prey for this at one point, and that's not necessarily bad, but this is what's ruining the internet. By constantly clicking on these videos that are repetitive and the same, we are not learning anything as a society. We are constantly clicking on these things which are getting more views, and consequently these social media apps are pushing out more because we keep clicking and we keep carrying watching, and we are consequently ruining it. YouTube won't push out videos unless they are doing well. If you're repeating the same things and more people are watching them, of course YouTube's going to push them out more. So we are the actual problem of the death of the internet. It's not the content creators who are trying to make a living. Well, maybe it is. But it's also us. We keep clicking on these things because we get this dopamine hit and we can watch the same repetitive thing and never try and yearn for more, because this is the time we are trying to relax. This isn't the time we're trying to learn, because we have consequently as a society started treating learning as keeping your brain turned off. You can keep your brain turned off and still learn and not have to do the same repetitive content all over again. But watching the same slime videos and Subway Surfers videos with random AI generated stories, we as a society aren't going to develop as much. And with these restrictions still growing on the internet, how are we ever going to catch up? The internet is growing faster and faster and the legislations are getting slower and slower, and we aren't able to keep up with it. The death of the internet can be considered in many different factors, such as the large, vast majority of AI-generated content and the great dopamine hit that we all get from watching these satisfying videos of top to bottom tier content. If you get it, you get it. And these titles that keep pulling us in, even if they're not justified. We keep watching these shock factor videos, even if they are cancelled or done something bad, because you know what, these shock factor videos are what keep us interested, they're what keep us on the internet, and we keep showing YouTube the same interest in these shock factor videos. YouTube's going to keep pushing out these shock factor videos. Of course, it's not necessarily bad. We are able to learn, similar to the news. They keep pushing out these shock factor things because that's what we want to read about. We want to learn about it, and it's not a bad thing. But we are constantly going back to those things. We are constantly looking at the same things. For what reason? It's easy to say that it's YouTube's fault, that YouTube keeps pushing out this content, YouTube keeps doing this, and that consequently means if YouTube is pushing out this content, it's because we are watching that content. They're also trying to make money. They aren't working with these big YouTubers to try and make sure they only get money. YouTube is its own thing, and it is making sure that the YouTube staff get paid, consequently the YouTubers, and if they can profit off that gain as well, then of course YouTube will try and push them more if they are making that profit. And consequently, we no longer have the same education in videos, and we don't learn as much about life because now we're just watching the same monetization that we chose to watch to begin with. And consequently, we started the death of YouTube, and I don't know if we're going to become the end of it, but so far it looks like it's just carrying on. And if you want to make a change, then maybe don't get off the internet. The internet is a lovely place, an amazing place. You can learn so many things, you can do so many things. I actually recently just started watching video essays about random things. I learned a lot about Madame Curie. I learned a lot about the generations before us, like Neanderthals. A lot of things I never learnt about, I learnt from YouTube and the internet, because it's an amazing place where you can gain access to everything. And I think maybe we just need to stop showing our interest into these dopamine-filled videos and start actually showing interest in the things that maybe we love as a society, maybe we want to learn more about, maybe we cherish, maybe we adore. These types of content creators that really put effort into their work because they love what they do and not because they love what they get. It's not bad to love what you get, but the second you turn it into your life, you no longer love what you do. If you like the content creators you watch, carry on watching them. If you want your feed to stop showing the same things, stop watching the same things. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to help with the death of the internet, then you can do that. But if you want to become a bit of a change to the death of the internet, then just look out for the good things, because there's so much more you can find. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye bye.